Good evening, friends. Welcome to Fun Fold Friday. I'm Dorene Decibus, and I'm from It Begins with Paper. And I'm so happy you're able to join me today on Friday, March 29th. It is Good Friday, and we are just about to embark on the Easter weekend. So I'm so happy you're able to join me tonight to learn a new fun fold. All right, let me just grab a piece of vellum to put down to cover that ring light on my glass mat. I have to say, I love this glass mat, and the only thing I don't love about it is the glare when I go live. So there we go. I think we've got that covered up, and we're ready to get started. So tonight, I thought, with it being Easter weekend, I should use the Excellent Eggs bundle and create. I was thinking of if you're going to friends or family and you want a last-minute little Easter gift to give as a hostess gift, or just someone in your family, thought I would create this fun Easter card with this set, and it's a pop-up gift card holder. So let me show you what the card looks like. I haven't stamped anything on the outside or the inside of this card yet, but I'm using the dies and the beautiful Light as Air Designer Series paper. And when you open up the card, you get this pop-up center. I also have some of the eggs inside as well. I'm going to be stamping on the inside here on the white, basic white cardstock. But with this card, let me just make sure you can see it okay. You can add, in between here, there's a space to add a gift card. And you can, based on how big you make the space, I made this a little too small. You can also add it the other way, but it fits fine just like that. So let's get started and learn how to make this fun fold. It's not hard, and it's a quick and easy fun fold to make. So let's start. I'm going to just grab my cheat sheet so I can talk about how we're going to be doing the scoring on everything. So let's talk first about what you need. All right, so I've put my score pal up, and I'll just grab the cardstock now. You are going to need a card base, and I've already just scored this in the half. When I cut my basic white thick, I usually score it just before I cut it. So this has already been scored right here in the middle at 4 1/4 inches. So it's just an 8 1/2 by 5 1/2 piece of cardstock. And then I have 2 pieces of Designer Series paper, and these both measure 5 by 5 and have to be scored. And I'm going to just score them together because it's easy to do it. So let's do that scoring, and then we can get this out of the way. So I'm putting both 5 by 5 sheets in the corner, and I'm going to grab my stylus, and we're going to score this at 1 1/2 inches. I'm just going to go down and then back up to get a nice score line there. And then we're going to score at 2 1/4 inches. So again, I'm just wanting to make sure, since I'm scoring 2. And then we're going to score at 3 3/4 inches. And our final score is at 4 1/2 inches. So it is, again, let me just go over that. I will be putting this in the comments so you don't have to write anything down. So we have 1 1/2 inches, then 2 1/4 inches, 3 3/4 inches, and then 4 1/2 inches. Okay, we're done with our scoring tool. Let me just put that back under my desk. And let's continue with what we need for card. So 5.5 by 8.5, 2 designer series pieces at 5 and by 5 inches by 5 inches. Then we're going to need 2 Balmy blue pieces of cardstock that measure 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. So we'll need 2 of those. We are going to need 3 pieces of designer series paper. So I've got my 3 sheets here. I am using, like I said, lighter than air designer series paper. And these measure 4 by 5 1/4. Just wanted to make sure. And then I need a final sheet of just regular basic white cardstock that measures 5 by 3 3/4. So that's all we need for our paper. So let me start putting the card together, and then we will be doing everything else we need with the fun fold of this card. So I'm going to give my card base a nice scoring. And I'm going to take one of these pieces of paper. Actually, we needed 3 of these. I said 2, we need 3. So I'm going to take one of these pieces of paper, and on each one of these pieces of paper, I am going to be mounting it on the, Balmy blue cardstock. Just moving my camera so we get a better view. So I'm just going to add my adhesive using the Stampin' Seal. And we only have 1/4 inch to play with, so that's not a lot of space. So I'm going to just make sure it is right where I want it to be before I really push this down. And you can see it kind of stuck on its own anyway. So I just want to make sure that I have this on evenly. So there's one of our pieces. And we're going to take another piece of the Balmy blue another piece of the lighter than air designer series paper, and we're going to add this piece of onto the Balmy blue. Same measurement, same little tiny border. There we go. There's 2 done, and let's go with our 3rd piece. This paper, the retired list will be coming out next week for both the mini catalog and our main idea and idea book and catalog. And some of the items will be going on sale, some of them won't, but they are the last items. And if you are going to want any of these items, and this paper is one of them, you're going to want to order soon. The new catalog comes out at the beginning of May, and we'll be doing some fun things with the catalog. Okay, I'm going to put one of these pieces on the front of the cardstock. Now, I could have easily have gotten away with not using the thick basic white cardstock. Because I'm adding 3 of these card layers with the designer series paper and the Balmy blue cardstock, I could have, like I said, easily gotten away with just using a regular piece of basic white cardstock, because I want the whole inside to be decorated. So that's why I'm doing this. And so if you don't have the thick basic white cardstock, then you could use the regular white cardstock. So now we have that beautiful designer series paper on all 3 sides. And what I'm going to do is actually stamp my greeting on this. This is going to go on the inside of this piece. So it's going to go right here. I'm going to just set that aside for a moment. And let's see, I think we have Thinking of You, Happy Easter, There's No Bunny Like You, or Hello Spring. And I think we're going to use the Happy Easter since this is what it's going to be for. And I am going to use the Balmy Blue ink, though I could use lots of color in this. So let's get this mounted on a block. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure my message is lined up correctly. And I'm going to stamp this towards the bottom of this. There we go. Let's see, I didn't really get the top. So that's why I love two sides to a paper. I don't think the top of the stamp was actually inked. So we'll try this again. There we go, much better. Love that. And this is going to go on the inside of the card. Has a beautiful font for the Happy Easter. Let me just show that to you. Oops, went too high. I usually go too low. All right, so now we're going to, just going to make sure I don't have that little lip from the paper cutter. So I'm just going to run my bone folder over the edges and then add my adhesive. And we will put this on the inside of the card. There we go. Okay, so let's just set this aside for right now, and let's make the pop-up feature from the Designer Series paper. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to fold on those score lines, because anytime we do a fun fold, we want to really make sure we have nice creased edges. When I'm using Designer Series paper to make my mechanism, I like to use the liquid glue to adhere it. So this is going to just be a pop-up rectangle. Give you a view of what that's going to look like on the inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open this up and I'm going to fold this over, and I'll be able to glue that right down. So I'm going to get my liquid adhesive, and it doesn't need much. And I'm just going to adhere this together. Hold it down for a minute. And then we've got our first element made. It's good, just looks like a regular rectangle. So now I'm going to fold the other piece. We're going to be connecting these together in just a minute to make that pop up. By using the same Designer Series paper, I end up with this beautifully matched paper. So all the diamonds in this paper that I'm using right now match all the colors in the stripes that are on the front. So just to give you an idea of what it looks like. So cute. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to just be closing this over to adhere it. So I'm just going to get that liquid glue out again. And I'm just going to add that and then close it up. So it's nice and even. Oh, I love that it's later in the day. I have the window open. That's probably why you're seeing some shadows. But it's so nice to see the sun still out at this time of day. Okay, there we go. We have our 2 rectangles that we're going to be putting together into our card. So, I'm going to take the first one, and this matches the width of this white paper, so that it's going to go right at the top, be right as long as that. But I want it to reach the back side of the card, so it's going to open up that way. So I am going to start by putting a piece, some of the adhesive, right on the bottom where we made, so the fold is on the back. And I'm just going to add some adhesive. And we're going to put that down so it's just below the crease. So this can still come up, and that's where it's going to be glued. And then I'm just going to put my fingers inside to hold it down. Let it adhere for a minute, or a few seconds at least. And then I'm going to, on the back side of that, I'm going to add some glue to adhere to the back of the card. And I can just close that card and adhere it. And when I open it up, it is going to pop up like that. The next step is we're going to adhere this to the bottom as well, but we're going to do both pieces at the same time. We also have to adhere this edge so we can fit the gift card. So I'm going to start by putting adhesive along the bottom, and then I am going to be putting just a little bit along each edge, like that. And I am going to bring this into place, lining them up, and first making sure the adhesive is adhering. And I'm going to adhere the back, holding that in, and making sure that both of these sides get adhered down. And then I can close it and do kind of the same thing and just press it together. And so now it pops up nicely. I can take that gift card I have, and now I have made this wider, so I can either slide it in the long way, because I made the gift card, the slit to be open for, longer, in a longer distance, or I can put it in this way as well. So you can put it in either way for this. And now we're ready to do some decorating. And I'm going to keep my glue out. I am also going to be using, whoops, grabbed the wrong thing. I'm also going to be using some dimensionals on this, and some other things. So I'm going to start by just getting my silicone mat out. So while I'm doing my glue, it's going to not make a mess here. So I used colors right from the Designer Series paper. I cut a fresh Freesia egg, a bubble bath, a pool party, a petal pink, and a lemon lolly Easter egg. And these are going to be going on the inside and the outside. So I'm going to use the fresh Freesia and the pool party on the inside. So on the back, let me just move these out of the way a little bit. So on the back of these, I'm going to be adding some glue. I'm going to put a little dot. I'm not going to put any at the top because this is going to be standing up. So I'm going to add a little dot to the bottom, some little dots right across this little piece here to hold it down, and then some dots across the middle here. And this is going to, I'm going to have these just go here on the back, and I'm going to let the top of that stick up. I'm going to add the same glue in the same places for the pool party. So it's sticking on the designer series paper, but not anywhere else. And then I'm going to add this one. Kind of hold it like this so you can see what I'm doing. And then again, to make sure it's going to stay down, I'm going to close it and just press so that it stays down like that. Okay, so there we have the inside all done. And now let's decorate the front. So I cut out of the Balmy blue, I cut out some of the rickrack to put on the front of the card and the large egg, and I ran it through the dot embossing folder. So I'm going to start with the rickrack. And again, because it's just a little thing and I don't want these Stampin' Seal adhesive to get all over the place, I am going to just add some liquid glue to all the points so that this will stick on the front of the card like I want it to. All right, and I'm going to be putting this over on the left-hand side of the card. So I'm going to be putting one, they're going to be on top of each other, going straight across the card like this. And then I'm going to add the second piece. So again, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I appreciate your being here. And I appreciate you following me on Facebook and on YouTube. If you haven't liked my page or followed my page yet, you still can do that. And the same with my YouTube channel. Thank you for following that as well. So I'm just putting a little adhesive on the back of this egg, and I'm going to have the egg not stand up exactly straight. I'm going to have it tilt a little bit and just hold that down. And then I'm going to add these other eggs, sort of the same way that I did. I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive right here at the top so this piece sticks down. And a dot in each spot at the bottom. And I'm going to place this one coming off of the blue egg a little bit. Hold it down for a moment so the glue adheres. And then I'm going to take the bubble bath egg. I'm so excited to get the new in colors and some of the new stamp sets. I'm just excited about it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I couldn't do the pre-order because I didn't attend on stage. I couldn't take the time off from work, and I really couldn't go to Texas, to Houston for that many days either. They didn't have an online version this time. So I was unable to get some of the new stuff, which is sad, but that's okay. I'll be able to get it next week. So being a demonstrator, I can pre-order. before the catalog goes live with everyone else. So that's kind of a fun thing to be able to do. Let me just see what I have in here for dimensionals. Never have the dimensionals I want. This is one of those things that I just lose on my desk, and as soon as I pick up from this, I'll find them. But let's just get a new sheet out. I need to use a combination of both on the back of this, but I can use the big ones in the center. So I'm going to use 2 right in here. And then I'm going to take my small ones and put 1 right in the middle there. And that's all we're going to need. Get those backings off. And we're going to put this one a little higher. There we go. Well, now we have the card all put together and made. Let me just move these things out of the way. But what I want to do now, I really still don't want a greeting on the front. I just don't. I'm just so liking what it looks like right now, the way it is. So I'm going to grab some gems. See which ones I want. I have a whole mess of the ones I want, but let's see if I can find them quickly in here. There are others I can use, so I think I'm going to actually take these for right now. So we have some fresh Freesia ones in here. And we do have fresh Freesia in. So these are the Tinsel Gems 3-pack. And we have Misty Moonlight, Fresh Freesia, and what's my other color? Lost Lagoon. So actually, Misty Moonlight's the only one that's not in. I could use both of these. So I am going to take and just up here add add 2 there, and I'm going to take a small one and put it just down here. I actually might move these closer together. Just to give it a little bit of gems right in that area. And then I think what I'm going to do is grab some white baker's twine, and I might not have even needed the gems. Now I'm going to second guess my gems. So I'm going to add the white baker's twine and make a double bow. I'm tying it right on my spool. And then grab some scissors to trim. Oops, not quite even. There we go. And I'm going to put this right on the top egg. And you know, I think that's all it needed. Let me see if I can get these gems back off. I don't think it needs these gems to complete the card. Now, if I can't get them off, then we're going to have the gems. But there goes 1. There goes 2. Yeah, I just don't think it needs it. What do you think? Did it need the gems, or does the bow do it? I kept trying putting a saying on, but it just covered up the designing, the sentiment on it, and it just kept cutting, taking away from the beautiful paper and the design of the card. So here is what the front of the card looks like. What do you think? Does it need anything else? And then on the inside, we have our slot for our gift card, and we have those little eggs and our Happy Easter. So this is the perfect gift for a niece or a nephew, or a grandchild. You could give them this card for their Easter card and add a gift card to it. It would make a great card for if you're going to someone's house for dinner on Sunday, to give a little hostess gift. But I just thought a fun little pop-up gift card holder. So that's it for tonight. I do want to remind you that I will not be live Sunday night, the 31st, on Easter Sunday. I'm going to be spending that with my family. And so I will see you back here next Friday night for another edition of Fun Fold Friday. And I hope you have a great week. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.